Hello students, very good morning. Today I have brought you a new lesson from class 9 Beehive, that is packing, and the author is Jerome K. Jerome, and he is very famous among all the children with his humorous and interesting stories. And this is nothing but an extract from Three Men in a Boat. Hope that you all might have read this book. This novel is very interesting. Of course, you can get it in your school library also, and it's worth reading, and it's full of humor and fun. Okay, in fact, Three Men in a Boat not only consists of three men. There is also a companion. There is nothing but a dog. Who are the three men? Number one, Jerome K. Jerome, and number two, Harris, and number three, George. And there is also a dog. What's the name of the dog? Montmorency. Okay, and this lesson is very thrilling, and I strongly insist that you will enjoy listening to this. Before that, I would like to ask you some questions. What's the title of this lesson? Packing. Who is the other? Jerome K. Jerome. And it's nothing but an extract from Three Men in a Boat. Okay. Do you like going on trips? How often? If so, what kind of trips do you enjoy most? Short or long? How do you feel about having to pack for a trip? How do you plan your trip? Would you like to pack all things yourself? Do you have that much patience? Can you do it without forgetting any things you need on the trip? Have you ever discovered on your trip that you have forgotten to pack a few things you very much need, or that you can't find them easily? Have you ever had this experience that you have forgotten one of the most important things that you needed there in the trip and regretted, felt sorry? Does this make you angry, or does it make you laugh at yourself? What's your feeling when you came to know that you have forgotten one thing or the other? Okay, now let us read the lesson. And before that, I would like to give you some introduction. That means I would brief you this lesson to make you understand it well. Okay, all of you be attentive. The narrator of the story, Jerome, was proud of his packing skills. He thinks that he is very good at packing, talented. Nobody can do better than him. He was supposed to go on a trip with his friends. Who are his friends? Who are the three men? Jerome, George, and Harris. He told them to leave the whole matter of packing to himself. He told his friends that he would do all the packing by himself. They readily accepted. Then he started. Then what is his intention in telling his friends that he would do all the packing by himself? He wanted to give an advantage to them. He wanted to give them some relaxation. Not at all. He wanted to enjoy the bossism. He wanted to supervise them. He expected that they would assist him in doing the task. That means packing. And he would guide, or he would give directions to them in doing that. And he insisted on their cooperation. But in fact, they did not give any cooperation. They simply sat lazily and relaxed themselves without offering any assistance to Jerome. That annoyed him very much. He didn't want anybody watch him doing all the work by himself. Okay, it was really very comfortable for Jerome to just sit idle and see another person work alone. His energetic nature, what kind of person he is? He very energetic. Okay, very active. His energetic nature made him want to get up and superintend. That means it's all a collective work. One cannot do it alone. All together can do it efficiently. When Jerome packed the bag, okay, they all listed out the things that needed in the trip, and they started packing that. And Jerome took initiative. When Jerome packed the bag, Harris pointed out that Jerome had forgotten to pack the boots. Already the packing has been done, but after the packing is completed, it's tied up. Then Harris pointed out, he discovered that Jerome had forgotten to pack his boots that he needed there. So he had to open the bag again and pack his boots in, and just he was going to close it. He doubted if he had packed his toothbrush, which he needed early in the morning to brush up. Whenever he would be about to travel, he would get nightmares of forgetting to pack his toothbrush. It is customary that he used to get nightmares about his forgetfulness. That every time he plans a tour or a journey, he usually forgets his toothbrush. Then he would wake up and go on to hunt for it. Hunt means to go in search of it. Where's my toothbrush? Then in the morning he would pack it before he used it, and then he had to unpack again to get it and would repack. So unpacking, repacking. So it's really a boredom. Nobody likes to do it. But that happened to Jerome. Forgetting to put the toothbrush in again, after he brushed that, he forgot to replace or add it into the packing. Then he had to rush upstairs to fetch it. So he had to move upstairs to bring it. He always ends up carrying the toothbrush wrapped up in his pocket handkerchief. Okay, in order not to forget it. As usual, Jerome had to search the whole bag for his toothbrush. He couldn't find it. He couldn't discover it. He found the Judge and Harris toothbrushes 18 times. Whenever he searched, every time he searched, how many times he searched for it? 18 times. He found Judge and Harris toothbrushes, but not his. But he couldn't find his own toothbrush. He had to reopen the pack. At last he found it inside a boot, and he had to repack once again all. After he was done, Judge asked him if the soap was in, but Jerome was so exhausted that he just didn't seem to care. Okay, with a lot of difficulty, Jerome packed that all, placing it through toothbrush. And afterwards, what happened? Judge asked him. Judge reminded him if the soap was included in the package. By then, Jerome was very much exhausted. He was very much tired up, and he just couldn't do anything. And so, he didn't pay any attention to that. But after he strapped the bag again, he noticed that he had packed his spectacles inside, and he had to open the bag again. But however, despite his tiresomeness, the same thing happened. Once again he had to open that because he had packed his spectacles also, and for that he has to unfasten or untie the bag. He had to reopen the bag. Finally, he finished packing at 10:05 p.m. And now George and Harris decided to pack the food hampers. Hampers means a container. Hamper means what? It's a noun. A container with lid in order to store some fruit, vegetable and some other food items. Okay. Now hamper is being used as a noun here. Hamper is also there as a verb. Means to prevent or stop somebody doing something or achieving something, getting progress. Okay. It's being used as a noun here. Is a container here. So all the things they needed were packed. And now Jerome was very much tired, exhausted. Now Harris and George decided to pack the food hampers, food items they needed there. George and Harris started by showing that they were better than Jerome at packing. They wanted to outsmart. They wanted to show their talent. And they wanted to prove, George and Harris wanted to prove that they could do packing better than Jerome. You know that Jerome was very boastful, vainglorious, that no one could do packing better than him. So they wanted to prove that they could do it. Jerome was excited to see how they would proceed. And Jerome just relaxed there and started watching how they would do the packing. As he anticipated, means expected, they started with breaking a cup. First of all, they broke a cup there, which they wanted to include. Meanwhile, then Harris accidentally squashed a tomato by placing strawberry jam on top of it. You know, while packing, we should have some common sense. We should have some planning. That means the hot things should be placed at the bottom, and fruit, vegetable, eggs, cake, jam, butter, this kind of things should be placed on the top. But what happened here? They started the package with a breaking of a cup. Harris accidentally squashed a, means crushed or squeezed a tomato by placing strawberry jam on top of it. And then he had to pack out the tomato with a teaspoon. He had to pick out the tomato with a teaspoon, as he could not do it by hand. Moreover, George stepped on the butter. Meanwhile, the butter is placed somewhere. Unknowingly, George stepped on that. Now it was Jerome's turn to sit back and watch them. Jerome was watching everything, which irritated, but he was very much irritated. He was very much annoyed or frustrated at the way that they were packing. They stepped on things, put things behind them, and then they were unable to find the things they wanted to include in the package were behind them, and they did not find them, and they started searching for them, and a lot of time was being wasted, and then they were unable to find them when they needed them. A lot of time was wasted. They put the pie at the bottom. What's the meaning of the word pie? It's nothing but a kind of fruit, meat, vegetable that is baked and covered with pastry on the bottom, side and top. Okay, they put the pie at the bottom and put heavy things on the top and put the heavy things on the top. What happened? That's being very soft would be easily squashed, broken, and which ended up ruining the pies. The pies were crushed and destroyed. They poured salt all over the place and did wonders with the butter. So they were very much confused in doing that all. During this process, George got the butter stuck to his slippers. Unknowingly, he stepped on that, and so the butter stuck to his slippers. He did not notice it. After he got it off his slippers, they attempted to put it in the kettle. Kettle means a container which is used to store tea. Okay, but it wouldn't go in. So they wanted to keep the butter inside the kettle, and it has a narrow mouth, and they couldn't do it. Then they put it down on a chair, but Harry sat on it. So for the time being, they placed the remaining butter on the chair. So what happened then? Harris unknowingly sat on the chair, sat on it, and the butter stuck to his back. The butter is attached. He did not notice that. Then they went around looking for it. That was still sticking on Harry's back, but nobody found it. Nobody discovered it. Then what happened? They started searching for the butter. After a lot of searching, George discovered that it was at the back of Harris the whole time, and finally they packed it in the teapot. With a lot of difficulty, they could do it. And then another menace, their pet dog. What's the name of that? Montmorency came into the scene. Already they were in trouble. They were in a lot of confusion. They were breaking, they were destroying, and they were stepping on that butter and tomatoes, pies, etc. Adding fuel to fire. The dog also came. Okay. Montmorency came into the scene only to add to the commotion, means a nuisance, a lot of disturbance or noise. Montmorency was a naughty dog. It's really very mischievous, whose aim in life was to create hurdles and get scolded. It's always causing trouble and being abused. Okay. It was only when he was screamed at that he felt that his day had not been wasted. So unless it disturbs or upsets anybody or cause trouble to anybody or being scolded by them, it will not be satisfied. It will not keep quiet. Okay, that's the attitude of the dog. So just when things were ready to be packed, that means the dog, came into the room and sat on them. Whenever Harris or George extended their hand for anything, they wanted to take something, then what happened? Montmorency made it a point that they reach for his nose. So everywhere they caught Montmorency nose, not the thing or the article they required. Whenever Harris or George extended their hand for anything, Montmorency made it a point that they reach for his nose. That means this caused a lot of disturbance to them. It did not allow them to pack the things in perfect way. He put his leg into the jam, disorganized the teaspoons, and it mistook that lemons were rats, and he tried to kill 2 of them, and he spoiled the whole package. After uncountable obstacles and tremendous efforts, tremendous means enormous, a lot, ultimately, finally, the packing was done at 12:50. See, when they started and when they ended that. And Harry sat on the hamper, means the container in which fruits, vegetables or the things are usually stored. On the hamper, hoping or expecting that nothing was broken. George consoled, means comforted himself and Harris by saying that if anything was found broken, then it would be because it was already broken he thought that it would not be broken when he tried to sit on that. If anything was found broken, that must be already broken. They all were ready for bed and decided to wake up at 6:30. 6:30 means 6:30. Okay. George was already asleep by then. So George and Jerome placed the bathtub where he could tumble, means overturn or fall on his head, on getting up in the morning, and went to the bed themselves. So the day was ended. With a lot of difficulty, they could complete the packing, and they were about to set up. They were about to set out or start their journey or trip tomorrow. They wanted to get up at 6:30. Okay. Now, let's look at the important incidents in the lesson. Look here. The lesson begins. I said I would pack. See, I rather pride myself my packing. So who is I here? Who does I refer to? Jerome himself. I have already explained you that he is very boastful or very confident that he would pack it better than anybody. What's the meaning of that pride myself? I am proud of my packing. Packing is one of those many things that I feel I know more about than any other person living. He thinks that he knows better about the act. That means packing. It surprises me myself sometimes how many such things are there which I know better. That means he is very proud of his talent, his skill of packing, and he always appreciates himself in doing so. Look at this picture. It is Jerome. I impressed the fact upon George and Harris and told them that they had better leave the whole matter entirely to me. That means Jerome wanted to do all the packing by himself in order to impress, get appreciation or compliments from others, to prove his talent. They fell into. What's the meaning of the word fell into? The meaning is just given here in the brackets. Accepted. In this context, fell into means accepted. The suggestion with a readiness means willingness that had something uncanny. Uncanny. What's the meaning of this? Strange or weird. Peculiar, odd about it. Okay. Let him do. The remaining two, George and Harris, wanted Jerome to do it. And they wanted to take rest. George spread himself over the easy chair. When Jerome started packing, what were George and Harris doing? Did they cooperate him? Did they assist him? George spread himself over the easy chair. You can sit there. You can see the position of the people there. And Harris cocked his legs. What's the meaning of the cocked here? Bent the legs on the knee as he sat. Look at the posture on the table. They were not giving any assistance to Jerome in packing. This was hardly what I intended. I means Jerome, the speaker, the narrator himself. Intended means planned or supposed, insisted. What I had meant, of course, was that I should boss, I should monitor, I should watch over them doing the packing, and I would like to supervise them. But things turned against me. That I should boss the job, I should supervise the job, I should be the in charge of the job. What's the job? Packing. And that Harris and George should potter about. What's the meaning of this potter about? Do some unimportant things under my directions. I pushing them aside every now and then with, "Oh, you, here, let me do it. Please don't interrupt me. Don't disturb me." Okay, there you are, simple enough. Really teaching them, as you might say. They're lacking it in the way they did irritated me. So Jerome felt that Judge and Harris really irritated him during packing, despite not offering any assistance. There is nothing does irritate me more than seeing other people sitting about doing nothing when I am working. I don't want anybody sit idle or lazily when I am working hard. I expect that they would offer some help. And you know the situation, what the two people, George and Harris, were doing when Jerome was packing. I lived with a man once who used to make me mad that way. He would loll on the sofa. What's the meaning of this? Loll on the sofa. Loll means to recline or lean in a relaxed manner in order to take rest. And watch me doing things by the hour together. He said it did him real good to look at on me messing about. What's the meaning of messing? To waste time doing something without a particular purpose. Okay, that means from this you understand Jerome did not want anybody, did not like anybody simply sitting idly, lazily, without offering any assistance, watching over his doing any job. He wanted people around him to follow his instructions and help him in his work. Now, I am not like that. I can't sit still. Sit without doing anything. Can't sit still means. And see another man solving and working. See another man. Yes, slaving means what here? Just helping others like a servant. I want to get up and superintend. Superintend means supervise or manage. And walk round with my hands in my pockets and tell him what to do. What is Jerome's intention in accepting the whole packing? He just wanted to supervise, and he let the other two people, Harris and George, do the work. But everything turned against. It's my energetic nature. I can't help it. I don't have any control over it. However, I did not say anything but started the packing. It seemed a longer job. It's really very troublesome. It's not an easy job than I had thought it was going to be. I expected that I could do it very easily, but practically I experienced it's not so easy. But I got the bag finished at last. However, I could pack it. And I sat on it and strapped it. That means closed it. Strap means to fasten or tie something with a piece of leather or cloth or rope, etc., to keep it in a position. Okay. Aren't you going to put the boots in? Said Harris. After everything is being packed. Harris reminded me that my boots were unpacked. That means my boots were out, not included in the packing. And I looked around and found I had forgotten them. What should I do? That's just like Harris. He could have reminded me when I was packing. He couldn't have said a word until I had got the bag shut and strapped. He was watching. He would have told me. He could have reminded me that I did not pack the boots, but he didn't. of course, and George laughed, one of those irritating, senseless laughs of his. I felt very disgusted, irritated at his laugh. They do make me so wild, means mad with anger. And this is the situation. Then what happened? I opened the bag and packed the boots in. And then, just as I was going to close it, a horrible idea occurred to me. Had I packed my toothbrush? Had I packed my toothbrush? I don't know how it is, but I never do know whether I have packed my toothbrush. So, he is not confident. He is suspicious or doubtful whether he included the toothbrush in the packing or not. Some of us, most of us, have this kind of attitude after we go out of the house on some urgent work on shopping etc. Then we may think over whether you locked the door, whether you bolted it or not, whether you turned on the lights or not. So George also has the same attitude. Then he is now in dilemma or in a great doubt that whether he included his toothbrush or not. Okay. My toothbrush is a thing that haunts. What's the meaning of the haunts here in this context? To repeatedly give trouble. Every time I do packing, I forget to include it. When I am traveling and makes my life a misery, means sad, unhappy. I dream that I haven't packed it. I hope, I suppose, I think that I haven't packed it, and wake up in a cold perspiration. Here perspiration means sweat. Okay, and get out of bed and hunt, means search for it. I started searching for my toothbrush, and in the morning I pack it before I have used it, and have to unpack again to get it, and it is always the last thing. Usually you add the toothbrush, tongue cleaner at last because you need it the next day morning, so you might include it at last. I turn out of the bag and then I repack and forget it and have to rush upstairs for it. I didn't find my toothbrush, so I went upstairs looking for it at the last moment and carry it to the railway station wrapped up in my pocket handkerchief. As I couldn't open that packing, I just wrapped it in my handkerchief and carried to railway station. Of course, I had to turn every mortal thing. Actually, mortal means causing death. But in this context, every ordinary or simple thing. I had to turn every mortal thing. I had to pay attention to everything, every bit of incident out now. And of course, I could not find it. I rummaged. What's the meaning of the rummaged here? Have you ever heard of it? Have you ever come across this word, rummage? Searched in a hurried or careless way the things up into much the same state that they must have been before the world was created. He was in a great confusion, dilemma. And when curse means confusion, curse means confusion, reign means ruled, managed. Of course, I found George and Harris 18 times. During my search in the pack for toothbrush, I didn't find my toothbrush, but I found George and Harris toothbrush 18 times, but I couldn't find my own. I put the things back one by one and held everything, whole past tense, held everything up and shook it. Then I found it inside a boot. So my toothbrush was stuck inside my boot. I repacked once more. How many times? See how many times he had to open the packing. When I had finished packing, George asked if the soap was in. He reminded me whether I included the soap in the package or not. I said I didn't carry a hang. What's the meaning of this? I didn't carry a hang. Show no concern or interest. I am very much tired, exhausted. I couldn't open or do it. Whether the soap was in or whether it was out. It wasn't means it was not there. I don't care. And I slammed. What's the meaning of slammed here? Shut the lid forcefully and loudly. Means the lid of the package, the covering on the package. The bag shut and strapped it. And found that I had packed my spectacles in it. I did not find my spectacles or specs. When I searched, I came to know that I packed in the things that was in the packing and had to reopen it. It got shut up finally at 10:05 p.m. So, with a lot of difficulty, I set everything. I completed the packing at 10:05 p.m. And then 3 remained. What happened? Then there remained the hampers. Hampers means baskets used to carry food utensils. Previously I mentioned it to do. Harry said that we should be waiting to start in less than 12 hours time. So much time is not left because the packing was delayed, and so they were left with a few hours. So that means how many? Just less than 12 hours, and they could hardly sleep, and thought that he and George had better do the rest, as one cannot do all alone and it would take much time. And I agreed. I means Jerome also agreed and sat down, and they had a go. They had to start the packing now. See what kind of things they were doing there, how things were going on their end. They began in a light-hearted spirit. So now Harris and George began to pack the food items. How did they begin? In a light-hearted spirit, means to be cheerful. At the beginning, they were very, very pleasant, very glad or happy, delighted. Oh, we could do it very easily. Evidently means clearly, obviously, intending to show me how to do it. And they wanted me to observe how skillfully, how efficiently they could do it in short time. I made no comment. I just went on watching. I only waited how they would do this packing. With the expectation, what's the meaning of that? With the exception, what's the meaning of this exception? A person or thing that does not follow the general rule. That means we give the particular person some kind of privilege not to follow the rules. That's what you call exception. Of George, Harris is the worst packer in this world. And I looked at the piles of plates and cups and kettles and bottles and jars and pies and stoves and cakes and tomatoes, etc. These are all the things to be packed now, and felt that the thing would soon become exciting. Then I was waiting for an opportunity or a chance to watch how they would pack all these things perfectly. It did. They started with breaking a cup. First of all, they broke a cup. That was the first thing they did. They did that just to show you what they could do and to get you interested, how interesting the activity was going on. Then Harris packed the strawberry jam on the top of a tomato and squashed. Squashed means crush or squeeze something with force so that it becomes flat, soft, or out of shape. Look at this. picture how that was being squashed. And they had to pick out the tomato with a teaspoon, as they could not do it with bare hand. See how things were going on. And then it was George's turn. Now George has to do. And he trod, the pastors of tradition trod on, what's the meaning of this trod on? Stepped on. He trod on the butter. Unknowingly, he stepped on the butter, which is misplaced somewhere. I didn't say anything. I just went watching over it. No comments. But I came over and sat on the edge of the table and watched them doing all this. How efficiently they would do this packing. I wanted to watch over. It irritated them more than anything. First, they were confident that they could do it very easily. They started with a lot of happiness. I could have said I felt that. It made them nervous and excited, disappointed. And they stepped on things and put things behind them. They placed the things that they wanted to pack behind them. And they wasted a lot of time in order to find them. And then couldn't find them when they wanted them. And they packed the pies at the bottom. I told you what a pie is. And the picture is shown, the image is shown here. A pie is nothing but a food item which consists of fruit, meat, vegetable, and covered with a pastry on the bottom, side and top. And put heavy things on the top. It's being very soft. And smashed the pies in. That was broken. They upset, means overturn, spilled over the salt on everything. And as for the butter, I never saw two men do more with 1 and 2 pence. Means nothing but pence means a kind of currency, just like 1 rupee. And in France you say that franc. Okay, and Japan yen, and America dollar, just like it pence. Worth of butter. The cost of the butter is nothing but 1 and 2 pence. In my whole life, than they did. After George had got it off his slipper, George unknowingly stepped on the butter, and the butter stuck to his slipper. They tried to put it in the kettle, but they couldn't do it. It wouldn't go in. They could not keep that or place that in the kettle. And what was in wouldn't come out. So already they put some butter inside the kettle. They neither took out nor let all the entire butter inside. It remained halfway. They did scrape, means drag or pull it out at last, and put it down on a chair. See, the butter is being placed on the chair here, and Harry sat on it unknowingly. He did not notice it, and unknowingly Harry sat on the butter which was placed on the chair. And you can imagine the situation, what would have happened. And it stuck to him, and they went looking for it all over the room, but you know where it was in fact. I will take my oath. Oath means to swear upon something, to pledge. I put it down on that chair. I placed it. I said I placed it on the chair itself, said George, starting at the empty seat. What's that? Staring. Staring means glancing, looking at something constantly. What did George say? He said, staring at the empty seat, I placed the butter here only. I saw you do it myself. And not a minute ago. I also knew it. I was also aware of that. But where is it now? It's missing. Then they started round the room again, looking for it. and they wasted a lot of time in search of that, searching for the butter which was missing. And then they met again in the center and stared at one another. They were helpless that they could not find it. Most extraordinary thing I ever heard of, said George. So mysterious. Means unknown, said Harris. What? Where did the butter go? How could it miss? Then George got round at the back of Harris and saw it. Why, here it is all the time, he exclaimed. He wondered indignantly. What's the meaning of that indignantly? In a manner indicating anger or annoyance of something perceived as unfair. Means which is not correct. Oh, it's behind you. It stuck to your back. Where? Cried Harris, spinning round like a top. Stand still, can't you? Roared George, flying after him, and they got it off and packed it in the teapot. Montmorency was, who is Montmorency? The mischievous dog, was in it all. Of course, Montmorency's ambition in life, as I explained to you at the beginning, is to get in the way and be sworn at. Means get scolded. It always interferes in every activity and it disturbs everybody, and it will be, it will be scolded by them, and it feels happy or satisfactory when such things were achieved or accomplished by it. If he can squirm, what's the meaning of squirm? To wriggle or twist one's body in anywhere where he particularly is not wanted. That means he just interferes and disturbs others' work, and it does not offer any assistance. And be a perfect nuisance. Nuisance means, it's a familiar word, you know that. To cause inconvenience or annoyance, trouble, and make people mad, and have things thrown on his head. Then he feels his day has not been wasted. Okay, I troubled my masters. Okay, I was being scolded by them. With that satisfaction, it would go to bed. It's being virtuous, it is daily routine. To get somebody to stumble. What's the meaning of stumble here? To trip over a hurdle. Over him and curse means being scolded or abused him. Steadily for an hour. He is his highest aim, an object, and when he has succeeded in accomplishing means achieving this, his conceit. In this context, conceit means his pride in himself becomes quite unbearable, which cannot be tolerated, means endured. He came and sat down on things when they were packing. Already they were doing a lot of nuisance, and their packing was not perfect, and you know how things were going on. Meanwhile, Montmorency entered, interfered, just when they were wanted to be packed. Of course, with a lot of difficulty, they stuffed the butter into the teapot and they arranged the things in a satisfactory order. And then when they were about to pack, then the dog entered, and he labored under the fixed belief that whenever Harris or George reached out their hand for anything, it was his cold, damp nose that they wanted. So it comes in the way, and they could catch its nose, which is cold and damp, means moist, wet. From this you understand, it tried to disturb them all the way possible. He put his leg, he means Montmorency, he put his leg into the jam, which is to be packed, and he worried, means here disturbed, the teaspoons, and he pretended, means to behave as if something is true, when you know that is not true. Okay, to act in a manner. That the lemons were rats. Montmorency mistook the lemons were rats and got into the hamper, the container in which all these things were stored, especially the lemons, and killed 3 of them before Harris could land him. Harris tried to stop with a pan, but everything happened before his action. So here could land on him. Could land him means hit or punch someone. Okay, with the frying pan. You know what a frying pan is, used for frying. Harris said, I encouraged him. I didn't encourage him. Harris said that Harris complained that I encouraged him. Encouraged Montmorency. I only incited him, motivated him in doing that. But in fact, I didn't encourage him. A dog like that doesn't want any encouragement. It's being mischievous, it always tries to do such things. It's a natural, original sin that is born in him. That is the attitude of the dog. Okay, that is innate. That makes him do things like that. It would do these kind of things by its will, not and somebody instructs to do. The packing was done at 12:50 late night, and Harris sat on the big hamper. You can see that how Harris is sitting on the hamper, the container in which the things were stored, and said he hoped nothing would be found broken. If anything was broken, that was already broken. Okay, which reflection means thought or intended seemed to comfort himself. Okay, and he feels satisfied that due to his action, sitting, nothing would be broken. If anything was damaged or broken, that would have happened earlier. He also said he was ready for bed. Okay, that he wants to go to bed. He feels sleepy. We were all ready for bed. So it was being late night. Everybody wanted to go to bed. Harris was to sleep with us that night. And we went upstairs. We tossed. Means, actually, there are many meanings, but in this context, throw something or somewhere lightly or casually or in a careless way. For beds. We just went in search of the beds in order to sleep. And Harris had to sleep with me, as they agreed among one another. He said, do you prefer the inside or outside? I said, I generally prefer to sleep inside a bed. Harry said it was odd, means strange, peculiar. George said, what time shall I wake you, fellows? George asked Jerome and Harris at what time he should wake them up. Harris said, probably at 7. And Jerome said, no, 6, because I wanted to write some letters. I have some work. Harris and I had a bit of a row, that means an argument over it. At 6 or 7, they had a discussion. They had an argument. But at last, split the difference. This means that they agreed on 6:30, neither at 6 nor at 7. In between 6:30. You know that it is between 6 and 7. Because it was halfway between 6 and 7, they reached a conclusion that they would wake up at 6:30 and said half past 6. Half past 6 means 6:30. You know how you read time, how you report time. Wake us at 6:30, George, we said. George made no answer. He did not reply. And we found on going over, we went on saying that he had been asleep. By then, he was asleep. For some time, being tired very much, he fell asleep. So we placed the bath, the tub, which consists of that water, where he could tumble. Means, you know that, to fall quickly and without control, to overturn into it on getting out in the morning. They intentionally planned it and went to bed ourselves, snoring. So, this is the way how the lesson, of course, how the packing was successfully completed with a lot of confusion and disturbance. Hope you all enjoy this and you take your textbook and read that whole lesson and try to answer the questions and answers I forward to you. Okay, unless you read textbook, you cannot understand. Just by watching to my video or listen to my explanation, you cannot get any benefit. Okay, you have to read textbook besides watching this video. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.